Good morning, good morning, good morning. Buenos dias, mi gente yo-yo. Welcome to Daily Discipline number 444. My name's Rob. Happy that you're here. Honored and humbled that you keep coming back like for reals. Hey, it's a football Friday. It's January the 3rd, 2020, which means it's my nephew, Lil Rico. It is his second birthday. Happy birthday, bro. If it's January the 3rd, that also means it's the eve of my daughter's birthday. And we talk about Addison all the time. She's my favorite person in the world. And she's my sissy and my princess, and it's her birthday tomorrow. So happy birthday, Eve, sweetheart. Um, we talk about Vince Lombardi, talking about how there's no days off. Well, there's no days off when you're chasing your best life, right? You got to do a little bit of work every single day. Some days you have to do a little bit more, right? Regardless, today's not one of those days we're taking a day off. So let's get to work. First things first, I'm still the realist, also a dreamer. Yeah. And yeah, I'm missing some vowels in there, but I needed some room. So you know what I'm talking about. And so when I think about being a dreamer, is that most of my today, for the last few years, most of my non-engaged time, meaning that if I'm not consciously, focusing on something, I find myself wandering to the daily discipline or just all of these ideas that I have that I know are connected. I just don't know which one to do first, right? And so our thought of the day is a goal without a plan is a wish, right? And there's a lot that goes into this. Herm Edwards, when I moved to Kansas City for the first time, was the first person I heard talking about this. That we could say, hey, this is what I want to do. But like, if you don't have a plan of how you're going to get there, it's just a wish, right? It's like saying, I want to be a billionaire. Like, okay, how are you going to do it? Like, I don't know. What's a wish? That's not a goal, right? Um, so just some, and again, I took the time to write this down. I don't, I don't recall before 2011 ish of me thinking I need to work myself into a position where I'm self-employed, where I'm doing my own thing. Um, 2015, a few years later, I end up here in Oklahoma and see a need for this sports entertainment complex. And since that time, there have been a lot of distractions and just things that I've not written a solid business plan. So in 2020, we have to complete our business plan and we have to take our first step. And I'm certain it's just like anything else. Once we get that out of the way, we're going to be good to go. So we just keep grinding on that a little bit every day. The other thing about, a plan, right, is we have to keep it real, right? So a lot of times I like to have these grandiose ideas like, hey, if this happens and that, but that shit ain't gonna happen, right? So just keep it real. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with, what our limitations are as far as resources and time, and this time's a resource too. But when we talked about SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, the A and R are the important parts, right? Like if we say, hey, I'm going to be a billionaire, I'm like, okay, well, how much money you got now? $12. Like, yeah, so before you're going to become the billionaire this year, because that seems like that's a bit unrealistic, right? Just need to keep it real with ourselves, right? Our chances of success, is there actually an opportunity? Are we just, sometimes, sometimes we go through the motions of doing things, creating a business plan, and with no real, you gotta want to, right? Like there's got to be that desire that says, this is what I want to do. My life, if I'm doing that every day, is going to be better than what I have today. And so, yeah, this is all part of the success system, right? The first day we talked about, having a goal, right? Like you have to articulate that goal, right? And then we talked about, being legendary. How do you become legendary? Well, you become legendary behind what you do and what you accomplish. Again, and we begin with the end in mind. All right, so when we're putting up our plan, where do we want to be, and let's back up from there. And then the next part is like just you have to understand how important this process is, right? That it becomes very arduous. You're like, man, I don't know if I can do this. You can, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. Let's start out with bullet points and fill it in from there. So yeah, just another reminder. It's the first week of the year. We're planning. We're saying, hey, this is how I want my work to go. There's an exception to every rule, and there's some people that can just wing it and just show up and throw up and blah blah blah, and they will they will experience a certain level of success. However, when you don't plan for the bad things that are eventually going to happen. And then you're trying to make decisions in the moment, which is the opposite of the right thing to do. And the right thing to do is to think through all those things ahead of time so that when they happen, like, yep, I knew there was a possibility this could happen. We're going to do that, right? Let's get organized, right? And for people like me, and this is one of I call them God's cruel old jokes, right? It's when God takes, that person, right? Whether that's a man, female, and they give them either this beautiful face or this beautiful body, and then the opposite is true, right? So either they're hideous in the face or they're beautiful face and this hideous body, whatever. Like nothing's perfect, right? Nothing's perfect. So the people that generally have the creative gene that are able to see things and be like, hey, we should do that. Like, how are you gonna do that? Like, I have no idea. Which is usually why where you see great success is you see a good mix of people who think differently. You have people who have vision and are creative and say, hey, maybe we should do that. They can see opportunities. And then they have people in their network like, oh, yeah, let me help you with that. Let me put the pen to paper and force you to get organized. So you got to have yourself a team too, right? So let's wrap that up, right? A goal without a plan is a wish. You got to have a plan, right? If you don't have a plan, your chances of success go down dramatically, right? Number two, that plan has to be realistic, right? If we're just making shit up and we're saying, hey, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, I've never done this before, I have no idea how I'm gonna do it, the chances of that happening are very, very rare. And a part of keeping it real, is understanding what our strengths and weaknesses are and filling in the gaps around us with people who are better at those things. With that, I'm done for the day. Hands up, peace out, we're better together. We'll be back tomorrow on a wild card chat on Sissy's birthday, right? So that ought to be fun. And we'll see you then. So have a great day. Deuces. Love you. Bye.